Welcome back to another independent showcase on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. And well, I'm joined by somebody who did come on before, but there was three of them last time. I was still suffering from that podcast. But I'm happy to announce that a close personal friend, no pun intended, is joining us today. It is the one, the only Mr. Danny Black. Welcome, Danny. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right. How are you?
Not too bad. As I said before, we started just getting over laryngitis, but we're getting there slowly but surely. Danny, look, we're like halfway through 2026 already,
Yeah.
which is stupid to say. I always feel like every year, especially when you have a kid, every year gets quicker or goes quicker, shall we say. How has that been for you and the group as a whole?
Um, yeah, I feel like it's been a good year so far. Um, what have we done this year? I don't know. It's weird. Time is it doesn't exist in it. I'm thinking of things that was last year, and then I don't know. Yeah, we've had a good year so far, but I feel like the best is still yet to come for sure this year.
Definitely so. I think last time we spoke, you had just come back from Germany, literally that morning, because you come to Ignite.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was very sleepy, as you guys always are. But is it every year? I mean, I talk to people all the time when I come on to podcasts, and they always say to me, like, who are the people that should be, signed to? You're surprised are not signed by to contracts already, and you and Joe are two of the people that the near enough two of the people that I come out with straight away. Is that still an aspiration for you? Is you would you want that contract? I know it sounds a silly question, but some people don't.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. I want a contract. Yeah. Um, yeah, this year I've gone full time with wrestling. So it's my full time job now anyway. But obviously, a contract's a much more secure and financially rewarding way of doing it. So, um, and yeah, it's like aside from the financial side, like wrestling for a big company has always been the goal. So, hopefully that's still to come.
As I said, and I say it on all the podcasts, I'm surprised it hasn't already, which is kind of because I know how good you guys on how much effort you've put in. But the adjustment from part-time to full-time wrestler, because you and Joe both given up your jobs, and I've seen Joe do his little thing on TikTok where he was a school teacher and then he, turns into be a wrestler. How are you adjusting to that? And I know it sounds a stupid question, but how is the difference between full and part-time?
Uh, it's a lot nicer now, in terms of like getting time to recover and stuff like that. So before I was also a teaching assistant. Um, so yeah, I was working at the start of the year. I was working 5 days a week, at the school, and then obviously traveling all up and down the country, sometimes different countries, at the weekend doing shows. On top of that, coaching at Play Fight during the week in the evenings. So I literally had like not 1 minute to myself, to even process anything. And then later on in the year, I went 3 days a week at the school. So that was a bit better. I had like a little bit of time to recover, but even then, like it's not much. But yeah, since going full time, it's been good. I can focus on things that will only help my wrestling career now. I have no other distractions, so like I'm committed more to going to the gym, committed more to like doing more edits for social medias and stuff like that. So yeah, literally all my time and energy is focused into wrestling now, even if I'm not at a show.
Do you still go to shows just to watch?
So I have done sometimes, yeah, yeah, yeah. If I have a free day in the schedule and there's a show happening near me that my friends are on, if I can't get on myself, sometimes I'll just go watch and support my friends. Yeah,
I suppose nowadays it's more important than ever to get a booking. Now you're full.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, preferably I'd be on them, but no, I don't mind going to watch.
Does it surprise you just how, I mean, like I come back into Brit Wres with this podcast 4 years ago now. Is the talent pool, is it just that good now that because there is a lot of options as well, there is more than one option now abroad. Obviously, you've always had Japan, but in America, there's more than one option. Does it give everyone, does it kind of refocus everybody that, hey, there is this opportunity now that we could get this contract?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I can only really speak for myself, but I feel like um there being more options at the top in general is only a good thing because even if you're not at the level yet where you're going to get signed to one of these big companies, the people that are at the level will get signed, and then you being at just below that level can then step up into like the top tier of independence. and it's just creating more and more space, more and more spots for all these guys. And like yeah, as you said, the talent level coming through now is like they're just getting better and better. With less and less time in the business is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you say that. I mean, Tommy Tanner's a prime example
Oh
of
yeah,
that. I mean,
Tommy Tanner's incredible, man. He's one of my favorites, up and coming for sure.
he really is. I mean, is there really, like, if you could say about maybe a couple of other up and comers, who would should you get people to start being looked at that maybe not necessarily from companies, but from fans' perspective? Who's three or four names that people should be starting to look at a bit more?
Um, but yeah, Tommy Tanner's always
Yeah,
one of the first people I think of. Of course, he's done a lot at Ignite. But I first saw him on a UKPW I was doing
yeah,
was it a couple years ago now, I think, and that must have only been like his like second or third ever match. And yeah, he went crazy in that. Instantly, me and Joe were like, "Who is this guy? We need to like find out." So we connected with him on socials and all that, and we've been cool with him since. And it's been really cool to see his growth and everything. Like, got a tryout this year, which was really cool to see. Very happy for him. In terms of some other names, it's gonna seem biased because obviously I'm a coach at Play Fight, so I'm just gonna name some Play Fight trainees. But that's because like I'm invested in their growth, you know what I mean? And they are genuinely very good. I wouldn't be shouting them out if they weren't. But Denzel Mack is one
yes,
name I'll throw out. I know he's worked with you a few times at Ignite. Um, First Class Flyers, Kaido
yes.
and Dercio, um, two real good up and coming talents. Again, only been doing it for like a year, if that, and they're already like way better than I was a year in. So it's gonna be crazy to see where they are in 5 years, say. Um, there's loads of names. There's Charlie James from Play Fight as well. She's a cool talent to look out for. Very talented at technical wrestling, which is something I don't see a lot of girls doing, apart from of course like you've got Kanjis and that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, she's very talented. I'm looking forward to see her growth as well.
You mentioned the first class flyers.
Mm,
You obviously, I know you put them through to Chris at Ignite, and you had the match with them at
yes.
Ignite, and it absolutely went crazy. I mean, I've started seeing a few of them singly now as well, and it just amazes me. Like it's a bit like you and Joe in a lot of ways. Like they're a great team,
Mm.
but singly can get the job done at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's important, especially at an independent level, is like um not always obviously like me and Joe and Mayhew always prefer to tag if we can.
Mm.
But where like the independent shows are like smaller sometimes and they've got smaller budgets, sometimes they can't afford to put a tag match on, or like if they're paying mine and Joe's wages, they'll want to split it across the card, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's always good to be as versatile as possible and be able to adapt to any match you get thrown in, because you can't always get the tag match every show, unfortunately.
No, definitely not. Speaking of that, you went through a phase at Rev Pro recently where there was a bit of tension between you and Joe. Joe was obviously cruiserweight champion at the time. I mean, is it kind of like great when, say, for example, one of you wins a title and the other one hasn't got it? But is there kind of that bit of like, damn, I need one too now?
Yeah, I'd say yeah. In a sense, yeah. Obviously, I'm very happy for my friends whenever they get cool opportunities. But yeah, there is a part of me that's like, I'm being left out now. You know, I was on top with you, and now you're up on top by yourself. Like, kind of left out here, mate. Um, so yeah, in that specific instance, I let the jealousy take over a little bit, but in the end, you know, we are best friends in real life and in the ring, so always just happy for him at the end of the day.
We indeed, and it's great to see. I say you as a team is incredible. What you as singly is also just as good. We'll take a break. We'll come back from Rev Pro in a minute because there's a lot going on there at the minute that I want to get into. But I'm going to start mixing up and just ask you a couple of random wrestling questions just before we start. So I'll get your
Mhm.
thinking cap on a little bit. Look, you guys are synonymous, literally. You guys are synonymous with a theme song. Obviously, yours is Backstreet's Back in most cases, and everyone goes mad for that. But if
Yeah.
you had to choose a Mount Rushmore of wrestling themes, what would be your top, say, four wrestling themes?
Ooh. Um, I would probably go. Batista's theme's definitely on there. I
Yeah.
Walk Alone. Um, I would say Randy Orton's original one. So not Voices, the Burning
Burning
My
My
Light
Light.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I would. put one of a kind for RVD in there.
Nice.
Um, or then maybe I'd have to go. I don't know. There's so many. It can chop and change, but today I'll say Edge. Edge
Yes.
is yeah.
Metalingus, love that.
Yes.
I'll give you a quick story about Batista's pyro. I went to a SmackDown show many
Mm.
years ago, and we're near where they come out, and they put his pyro literally next to where I was standing. And I can assure you, if you're not keen on pyro, that's not the place to be.
Yeah.
Because that was pretty bad. And I also met him in Miami. I went
Mm.
out to Miami for WrestleMania 28, and he was doing a marathon that
Right.
weekend. And I met him across South Beach. He's a great guy to meet as well. So there's a Batista story for you. I've had RVD on the show, but yeah, there's a Batista story. Right. Daddy Black's table for free. You can have three people from wrestling. Doesn't matter whether it's independence, whether it's wrestling in general, past, present, alive, dead. Who's the three people you're going to have at a dinner table?
I could give a really boring but real answer and just say CPF, like
Yeah,
Joe, Maverick, and Callum.
yeah,
Um, so that's usually who's at my table, to be honest.
yeah.
If I'll go, I'll say not them, because that's too easy. Um, I'll probably put RVD on the table for sure.
Yeah.
'Cause he's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and I feel like he has some crazy stories from like the ECW days. Um, who else would I go with? I'll go Rey Mysterio.
Well,
Um, and then I will go with AJ Styles. I've just put a table together of all of my favorites. So
that's fine. That's
there you
absolutely
go.
fine. And just as we're talking, best wishes to Callum as well. I know there was a slight injury concern recently, so hopefully he's back and up and running soon. It's a bit of a weird because I've mentioned you had the Backstreet Boys. I don't know how possible this would be or whether you'd choose them, but if you could have a band play you out at a wrestling show, who would it be?
Yeah, it's got to be Backstreet Boys. I don't know how realistic that is, but
We've got to make it
We'll see
happen.
what Andy's budget is for Wembley. We'll try and get it
Yeah,
done.
Wembley. Yeah, get the wallet out, Andy. You're
Yeah,
going to need to get it done for Wembley. That's going to be like the WrestleMania, isn't it, for Rev Pro?
yeah, for sure.
Actually, let's get talk about that now because look, Rev Pro have been an incredible run. They're pretty much doing weekly shows in different
Mm.
locations everywhere. Talking about Wembley though, just how big is that? Not just for the talent or Rev Pro, but for British wrestling in general.
Yeah, it's incredible. I think it's putting British wrestling where it deserves to be, like on the biggest platform that you can run, like aside from the stadium. Like Wembley Arena is massive. I think yeah, it's just showing you like the heights we can reach and where we should be in terms of like putting on these big shows. In terms of like Eve ran O2 Indigo earlier this year, and now Rev Pro we're running OVO Wembley. So yeah, it's just showing like all the people that are concerned that oh Brit Wres is dead, Brit Wres is dead. It's like they've been saying that for years and it still kept going, and now we're back up to the heights where we should be and running like the biggest shows ever. So um, yeah, I feel like it's everything is right right now with British wrestling. And like you
Yeah.
said, like the talent coming through and everything, we're in a really good spot.
Yeah, we really are. We are in a very fortunate spot, really, in that respect, due to talent. Yeah, that event alone, though, I mean, Andy's obviously worked incredibly hard with Rev Pro through thick and thin, through a lot of times. Is that just also a testament to the job that he's done for Brick Wrestling, just as much as it is for you guys, a talent that are going to work there?
Yeah, for sure. Like Andy is someone that a lot of the boys and girls really respect his opinion, not just like in terms of like getting the storylines over and stuff that he wants to get over on the shows, but like even just match feedback because he really genuinely knows what he's talking about. Sometimes you can go to a promoter and if they're not really a wrestling person, they're just putting on a wrestling show. You'll be like, "Oh, do you have any feedback for me?" Blah blah, and they'll just make up some shit or just say, "Yeah, it was great." Um, but like Andy will give you detailed like feedback on everything that you've done well, some bits you can tweak, and then when you listen to it works. You know what I mean? So he really does know what he's talking about, and yeah, he's worked incredibly hard over these last, I think. Wembley will be the 14-year anniversary.
Mm.
So over the last 14 years, and he was involved in wrestling before that. Yeah, it's just a testament to like how hard he's worked and how hard like everyone's worked within those last 14 years to build it up to this point.
It's going to be an incredible show as part of a big weekend, obviously, as it is of wrestling that weekend. But when it comes down to like Brit Wres, and I've had conversations with people about this. We always talk about getting that contract and people going to America. Is there enough oomph in having a Brit Wres weekly television show, do you think?
But yeah, for sure. You just need the investments, you know what I mean? You just
Mm,
need the money behind it. But yeah, there's definitely like you said with what Andy's doing, like putting on I've gone on record and said it, I think RevPro is the best independent wrestling brand in the world. I've worked for I've been lucky enough to work for like pretty much all of the
mm.
top ones you would say around the world. Like I worked for GCW and all that in America, worked for loads of the top ones in UK. But yeah, I think RevPro is the best independent promotion in the world just because of consistency and just putting on like top level shows pretty much every single week all up and down the country. Um, yeah, we've done France. He's doing. I can't say anything. He's doing some more shows abroad this year. Um, yeah, he's really expanding the reach, and I think like if you're looking for just like quality and consistency, RevPro is the perfect thing to go off. So like all it needs now is like financial backing from a big investor and a TV contract, and you're there. The
Yeah,
product's already ready.
it would be incredible if it happened. I'd love to see if it's got legs. I think it has, and you said I think the talent's there. It just need the right people around it, I think, to
Yeah.
make it happen, and perhaps that is the case. I do want to ask this question though, Danny, and this is going back to you and CPF because you get some wrestlers out there that will there will be ones that say that the kids will like more, or there'll be wrestlers that the adults like more. With
Mm.
CPF, it just feels like you're in the middle. The fans, the younger fans will love you because they can sing to, Backstreet Back or whatever it is. The older fans will like you a bit like myself because we're into the wrestling. What do you think? Why is it that you guys appeal just to the whole broader spectrum of wrestling fans?
Oh, but no, that's a question for our fans. I don't know. Um, yeah, we're in a very fortunate position where, like, as you said, we have a very wide range in our fan base, and we have like very very loyal fans as well. Like, um, I know a few fans have got like CPF tattoos now, which is crazy. Um, so yeah, we've got like a really good fan base, a really solid fan base that like ride or dies. They're always like um go out of their way to like put us over to different promotions or like come to any shows we're at, no matter where it is in the country. Like fans have traveled abroad to see us in different countries as well from England. So yeah, we're very lucky in terms of how devoted and how yeah, how cool our fan base is really.
Yeah, it is. I remember we I think it was back of last year, maybe the year before, when you was in because you and Joe were going against True and Lacey at Ignite, but it was for our
Mm.
championship and it was
Yeah,
whoever
yeah.
in for. And I remember I got a tweet from I think it was fans in Germany to say, is this going to be streamed? And in the end, we had to stream the match
Mm.
because there was people from international fans asking if this match was going to be streamed because it had you guys in it, which was just like incredible to even respond to that tweet by saying yes, we will now. We wasn't going to be, but it was just an incredible moment for us. But just touching on you, what makes the magic between you three? And there's also four because Taylor James is also an honorary CPF. As much as we've got issues with him at Ignite at the minute, what is it that brings you guys? Is it friendship? But there is friendship, but what is it that makes it so good in the ring with you three, or four, or five?
Um, I think yeah, it's definitely the real life friendship helps. Like we've instantly got that chemistry of like it's not like we like met each other randomly on a show and started tagging, and then like the promoter just threw us together.
Hmm.
Because then you have to like build up the chemistry, build up the friendship and the the out of ring chemistry as well, which not a lot of people like think about. But yeah, just I think that it works so well because, like you said, like we're such good friends in real life, and we all have like pretty much the same style and the same taste in wrestling. So a lot of the time, we'll like we if one of us comes up with a cool idea, we'll pretty much all agree that it's a cool idea because we're all into the same stuff.
Yeah.
So there's never any like back and forth arguments about like, oh, whether we should do this. Someone says something cool, we'll be like, yeah, that's cool, let's do it. Oh yeah, yeah, we have that trust in each other. Um, yeah, I think it's mainly that.
Yeah, it really it's great to see. I love how innovative you guys are as well. You mentioned that everyone's got an idea of a move, and you just mentioned it right there. So you got an idea for a move, but then you can even tweak it for a tag team move or a trios move in a lot of senses. And that's great that you guys do that and work on that backstage, or not backstage, but just out in general, or even at play fight where you guys train. I know Spike Driver does that as well, if memory serves me right. Play fight? Is that Spike does that?
Yeah, Spike is a coach at Play Fight as well.
He is.
So is Connor Mills and Nina
Yes.
Samuels. Yeah, they've got a good team there.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, like not even obviously we do come up with a lot of ideas in training when we're
Mm.
messing about together. But like it's literally like I'll have a random idea, or Joe or Lewis will have a random, or Mayhew will have a random idea. And or literally just like text each other and be like, "Yo, I've just come up with this idea. Do you think it's cool?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, let's try it next time." Cool. I literally did it like an hour or two before we jumped on this call. I saw something. I was like, "Oh, we could change it so it's like our moves here." Send it to Joe, and he was like, "Yeah, sick. Let's do it."
That's nuts. That's incredible how you got. I mean, that is a lot of a great wrestling mind to be able to do it. 'Cause some of it's about psychology, some of it's about ring awareness, but you could just sit there, or you might even be watching something and go, "That's good." But Joe, what if we
Mm.
done this?
Yeah,
And
literally.
unbelievable. That is incredible. But as we start to wrap up, Danny, I'm actually going to put this out there to Andy because look, we got FTR coming
Mm.
to Rev Pro, right? And I believe they're still going against the Young Guns. Is it? Is that or has that
Yeah,
changed? Yeah, they're still the Young Guns, right?
yeah,
But I believe I know your dream match, and I believe I
mm.
know that it is still possible. As I think Andy needs to put a call in over to Carlos Silva at TNA to bring the Hardys to London to go against CPF.
Oh, well, yeah. If that phone call's possible, that's one that needs to be had. Yeah. I'm not sure about like working relationships and stuff because I know there was a little bit of weirdness when a TNA guy got booked against an AEW guy over
Yeah.
Vegas like Mania week, and then they got pulled from it. So I don't know if the Rev Pro relationship with AEW would allow for that. I don't know. Um, but yeah, obviously that's still a massive dream match. But honestly, any match I get at Wembley, I'm going to be happy with because I'll be
Yeah.
performing at Wembley. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, there is loads of room for like massive dream matches with the connections that Andy has with like AEW, New Japan, CMLL. There's a crazy amount of dream matches we could have. But yeah, any match I get, I'll be grateful for on Wembley.
Definitely so. Just performing on that stage is going to be an incredible moment for you. But you guys honestly do deserve it from the time that I've spent with you and from what you do in wrestling is incredible. So you absolutely deserve that. And yes, American promoters out there or whoever that can offer contracts, there is literally I don't even know why you've not got one already. But there's two or three people there that absolutely deserve it. But Danny, before I have to wrap up and do my promotions, where can people find you on social media? What have you got coming up that you can announce? Because I appreciate there may be stuff that you can't.
So on socials, I am Danny Black _99. On everything, I think is the same handle. Um, what have I got coming up? I've got Riot Cabaret next week, I think, next Thursday. It's first time ever of all three of CPF going against all three of Diamond Eyes. So yeah, that'll be a good match. It's one we've all wanted for a while. I think the the fans are looking forward to it. So and I know we're going to deliver. So it'll be a great one to go to at the Clapham Grand next week if you're about. Um, what I'm trying to think of what's been announced and what hasn't, so I don't get in trouble. Um, oh, I'm gonna leave it at that because yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
I've got loads of cool things coming up, but I don't know what's been announced and what hasn't. Apart from of course Wembley Rev Pro. If you're international and watching this, if you're coming over for AEW, make sure you get to Wembley Arena the day before to watch Rev Pro. It's going to be a crazy show. Um, yeah, and just get to experience um, the best of Brit Wres.
I actually know a couple of people that are traveling over from America, from other podcasts that I deal with or that I talk to that are going over from America to watch that
There you
show,
go.
as
Make
well
sure
as
that.
yeah, Exactly that. They're going to have to watch Rev. They're going to do a lot. I think they're going to do Rev Pro Progress, everything, and AEW that weekend.
Nice.
So they're going to be going crazy that weekend. But look, before we wrap up, everybody, I need to thank TNA. We've got another TNA exclusive coming up for you. Names to be confirmed, but I can tell you that we do have one of the Wyatt Six, Joe Gacy, joining us very, very soon in the future. But Danny, I wish you very, very well. Not that you need any luck or anything like that, because you're great enough as it is. Obviously, we want you back at Ignite soon enough. And speaking of Ignite, Battle Lines, July 12th. We're going to have the coming out retirement of CJ Carter. The general manager comes out to whip Taylor James and the Rebellion's arse and send them packing from Ignite with any luck. You'll be able to see that one. It's going to be CJ Carter, Corey McRae, and one other will be in there against Tall Tom Mercer, Taylor James, and Ryan Curran. And our Turnbuckle Championship has been decided. It's going to be Chris Aries making his second defense of the championship against Scotty Rourke. But from Danny Black, I've been your host, Adam Cousins. You've been watching the Hit the Turnbuckle podcast. And until next time, everybody buckle down, stay safe, and goodbye.